Welcome back to our asynchronous interview number 4. We are wrapping things up, folks. We have a couple of closing questions from a student, Brittany, and you want to read those? You've got them pulled up on your screen here.
Yeah, so the first one is, how do you prepare for a live broadcast? How do you overcome nerves and avoid certain words?
Ooh, nerves, right? So sometimes we hesitate and we're experimenting with putting ourselves out there digitally, right, in a video form. So how do you handle that? What's your process, or how have you overcome instances of anxiety?
I've beaten this subject up, but make sure you're prepared. Being prepared in the beginning is a really good way, especially for live broadcasts. So if you're doing a live broadcast that's not something like this, if you were to do it for like a news organization or something that is like a big production, you're going to have a rundown or a breakdown of all the scenes, how long they're going to take, all the segments, what questions you want to ask, etc. But in the end, I always try to make sure that I kind of do a pre-interview if I'm interviewing someone for my broadcast, and I try to go, whoever is running my cameras, so I do a 3-camera broadcast, and so I always try to go over what shots that I'm really looking for, how I want to close, how I want to open, and so if you have a director that kind of can cooperate that with you, it's really helpful, and because if you're not upfront and communicate with them about what you expect, then you're kind of going to get what you get if it's live. And so you can go back and do some editing, but in the end, you kind of have what you have. So whenever it comes to live broadcast, just make sure that you're prepared and communicate with everyone effectively of what you expect. And then whenever it comes to nerves, I was lucky enough to in high school and in college be a debater, and so every weekend I was constantly talking to people, in front of people, performing. But a way that you can, some ways that I've helped myself get over nerves is talk to yourself in the mirror, or simply talk out your ideas. So if you have an idea and you're thinking about something a lot, but then you try to go and tell someone, it's hard to get the words out of what you're trying to say. And so
It sounded so much better in my head.
Yeah. And so, or you're constantly like, well, and there's this and there's that. But if you kind of talk out the points, or even outline and write down, kind of your ideas and just those pinpoint, points that you're trying to make, that is helpful. And if you're prepared and know what you're going to say, you're going to be less nervous. Whenever you add that camera element or, the lights, it can make you nervous, and I still am just like, okay, let's get this thing going. But just take a deep breath and, count to 3, do that, and then just do it. But thankfully, we have editing now.
These are all valid. I approve each of these. Someone that's taught public speaking for over a decade plus, been involved in communication aspects for far too long, but not long enough, right? The ultimate irony. These are excellent. Was there a follow-up question as well?
Yeah, so the last one is, if you had to choose between being in front of the camera or behind the camera indefinitely, which would you choose, and what's your reason?
The ultimate dualistic proposition. You want in front of the camera, behind the camera, and why?
Yeah, I think I would like to give myself the opportunity to be in front of the camera. So I would ultimately try to be a reporter for a news organization or some sort of situation like that. So I am going to do that while I'm young, at least, or pursue it for a little bit. But I think in the end, because even if you're doing work in front of the camera, you are doing work behind the camera, because you got to get those stories ready. But I really like coordinating. I really like being the person, my preparation anxieties. So I try to make sure everything is ready for everyone else on the project. And so I think in the end, I'll want to do more producing, and my end goal at this point would hopefully be doing in the field documentary producing. So you're a field producer, so you go out with the reporter or the host, or you're just not interviewing people on camera, but you're off camera, doing something like that. So I'm going to take a little bit of both for now, but definitely I'd have to choose behind the camera.
Yeah, it's not an either or, it's a both and. A Jill of all trades, if you will. Jameson, thank you so much for coming in and joining us, sharing your experiences in media production, sort of blurring those lines, but also distinguishing them for us between broadcast media and filmmaking, or the sort of the art and craft. And obviously there is so much more we can get into there, but we only have so much time each week. Thank you for sharing your experiences. In terms of our final thoughts, any project names you would care to drop, tell us about, or is there a way we can sort of like follow your progress, or celebrate any works online, anything like that?
My Instagram, always promoting on Instagram at Jameson Kiefover. That's the way that I kind of stay interactive. And then I'm gonna drop my website pretty soon, so we'll see how that turns out.
Be on the lookout for that website name. And the documentary you mentioned, it's still in post-production, is that right?
It's actually completely done, but it was being reviewed by the scholarship board, so yeah, I was gonna wait until to see what they had to say if I needed to make any changes, but then that's gonna be on YouTube, and it'll be on the OCU MassComm YouTube.
Oh, OCU, Oklahoma City University MassComm YouTube page. Exciting stuff happening. Good luck as you continue to spread the Kiefover brand in multiple directions. We look forward to helping celebrate that with you. Thanks for joining us, and thank you all for continuing to journey with us down this process. We have 1 week left in this course, and we will be coming at you soon with details on our final interviewee and get you set on the road to creating those interview protocols for COM 4603, creating social media presence and cultural movements. Thank you.